My parents refused to pay a single dollar for my college and told me to stay and work at the family cafe. So, I left and built my own life. Years later, they demanded $150,000 for my sister's wedding, and I gave them the exact answer they once gave me. I grew up as the backup kid in a family that only invested in my sister. My name's Calvin. I'm 26 now, working in financial analysis at a firm in North Crest City. But this story starts in Willow Hills, the small town where I learned early that my job in the family was supporting caste. My dad, Douglas, ran a neighborhood cafe. My mom, Janet, stayed home. And my sister, Lydia, was the family's official pride project. If you grew up with a golden child sibling, you'll understand this immediately. Lydia didn't just get praise, she got announcements. Meanwhile, I learned my role was different. Dad had me doing cafe chores before I could spell half the words on the menu. Heavy boxes, deliveries, cleaning, random repairs he didn't want to do himself. Once a customer tipped me $20 for running an order to their car in the rain. Dad took it and gave it to Lydia as reward money for doing well in school. I was 12. That's when I realized effort wasn't the currency in our house. Image was. Mom wasn't loud about it, but she had her way of drawing lines. She called Lydia brilliant, gifted, our bright one. I was steady, practical, good with my hands. Parent code for don't aim too high. Family gatherings followed the same theme. The conversation would turn into what Lydia accomplished this month. I didn't mind not talking. No one asked. When a new phone came out, Lydia got it. I'd get her old, cracked one with the battery that died in an hour. When she grew out of clothes, they became mine if they were gender neutral enough. If not, Mom picked up clearance stuff from a discount rack. None of this made me bitter. Kids don't label things like that. You just live the pattern you're handed. So I adjusted. I stopped expecting fairness. Instead, I watched. When you grow up as the backup kid, you either break or you become observant. I chose observant. Lydia got into Ridgeview University in early spring of my junior year. The moment that envelope hit the mailbox, our house turned into a parade. Janet called every relative she'd ever spoken to. Douglas closed the cafe early so the family could celebrate properly. Mom kept saying, "We've saved for this since she was born." That line stuck with me. Saved since she was born. Nobody had ever said anything like that about me. By senior year, my grades were steady. Mostly A's, a few B's. I worked the cafe shifts Douglas assigned and kept my head down. Applying to college felt like the next logical step. One night after dinner, I brought it up. "Mom, Dad, I've been looking at universities. I want to apply." Janet didn't even pause. She laughed, not unkindly, just dismissively. "Calvin, sweetheart, college isn't really your lane. You're more practical." Douglas nodded like she'd made a profound point. "Your sister is academic. You're hands-on. The world needs both." They said it like the roles were assigned at birth. My grades are solid. I can get in. I want to study finance. Douglas rubbed his jaw like the words annoyed him. "Calvin, the cafe is hitting a rough patch. We need you here. This family can't afford to lose you right now." He leaned forward. "Let's be clear. I need someone reliable. If you stay, I'll put you on payroll full-time. Stable work. Room to grow." Then he pulled out a folder, an actual folder, and slid it across the table. Inside was a long-term employment agreement with his signature already on it. 5 years, locked schedule, no attending school out of town. "If you sign, at least we know the cafe won't collapse." It was guilt covered with family duty. A trap. "I'm willing to help, but I can work part-time while studying. I can come home weekends." Douglas shut that down immediately. "Not enough. The cafe needs full commitment." I tried a different angle. "I'll do a formal loan agreement. College costs, I'll pay it back with interest. We can put it in writing." Janet didn't hesitate. "No borrowing. Our family doesn't take loans on principle." That was the same principle they abandoned whenever Lydia wanted something expensive. I closed the folder, pushed it back, and said nothing else. Their decision wasn't about the cafe. It was about where they placed value. Lydia was worth investing in. I was worth using. The next afternoon, I took the bus to my grandparents' house, Franklin and Marjorie. I told them everything. Just straight facts. When I finished, Franklin sat back, breathing slow through his nose the way he did when he was angry but didn't want to show it. "You want to go to college?" he asked. "Yes." "And you'll work, study, handle it yourself?" "I will." He nodded once. "Then you're going. Click here to watch full video."